Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the past 3 videos, I have shared with you the truth of the 1850s Wing Chun. And one must develop the receive and shoot in, because Wing Chun is a short strike art, which is fighting close to the body. One must develop the internal training, which consists of 3 parts. In today's language, which is the recovery part, the aerobic base, and the endurance, which is can be trained with interval training or high intensity interval training. And then I have shared in the yesterday's video on a techniques. 70% of a techniques is that body conditioning. That body, will you be able to execute it or not? So, as in this photo the other day I shared, a techniques, even if we know the techniques properly, 70% is here. Like my example yesterday on the Pakda. If one do not have this 70%, it is just useless. So when people talk about techniques, hand techniques, sparring, test under pressure, fighting, well, the bottom line is this conditioning. Can your body do the job? And even in this conditioning, like over here is recovery. This is recovery. This is your aerobic base to strengthen your body, your cardiorespiratory system, and so forth. This is for your endurance. In the endurance category here, one need to be watch out. In a fight, for example, you see in the ring, like in the MMA fight or UFC fight or boxing fight. Say Mike Tyson. There are 2 types of strength there for Mike Tyson. One is the absolute strength, meaning that his body, his weight. Okay. Another one is the dynamic strength, which is how many pounds you can strike, which is based on your speed. Now, a smaller body might be able to have high dynamic strength. But ultimately, that absolute strength, it is very critical. Like you are 150 pounds, how can you fight a 300 pounds which is well trained? Okay. So look at Mike Tyson. When he have both, his body is big, he have the absolute strength, and then also he have that dynamic strength. So if we want to talk about sparring, fighting, all those stuff, ask ourselves how much absolute strength we have, how much dynamic strength we can exert. Because 70% of your techniques, even just a partner I shared yesterday, as simple as that, 70% is here. This is 30%, even you know the technique perfect. You need your body to be able to drive it. And that's why you need a proper training on those three things. Your recovery training, your aerobic-based training, and your endurance training. Without that, there's no point to talk big. Today, in Chinese Kung Fu, many people just talk big. Can those type of talk big and magical fight anybody like Mike Tyson? Sure, it cannot. It couldn't even face Xi Xiaodong. Okay? You lost to Xi Xiaodong not because of techniques. A big portion is your body, the strength, the dynamic strength, and the absolute strength. Often people market saying that, oh, Wing Chun is effective. You don't have to use a lot of force to defeat your opponent. Come on. You're talking about beating somebody or bullying somebody who do not know how to fight, never train? Or you talking about when you're facing a pro? Or you're talking about when you go to the MMA Open, Karate Open competitions, or Western Boxing Open? You know? So, seriously, in today's Wing Chun, ask ourselves, do you have the recovery training? Do you have the aerobic-based training? How effective is your training? Answer the question, how effective is your training? Is your body ready for this interval training and high intensity interval training? How much your body conditions before they can go to those really high intensity training or sparring or just pressure testing and those kind of stuff. So asking the questions, how effective is your training? Say everybody in Wing Chun train Xiu Lin Tao in E.G. Kam Yong Bao. What is that training do? Over here, nurture chi, aerobic base, endurance. What does it do? So when I share this, many is like questioning, why don't I share something on fighting and those kind of stuff? And when I say scientific, then many is challenging me, saying that, hey, science is in the laboratory, anything. You know, I want to share with you a story. 30 years ago, I was in this big Buddhist monastery. That day I was talking with my Siheng, the abbot of that monastery. And the Siheng is the guy who will be able to do meditation for a lot, deep meditation. He's a Westerner, American. So a salesman walked in. Okay. with other monks, you know, come in. And it turns out that he is asking to buy this washing machine, which can kill germs. Okay, this washing machine. So they are talking, you know, price and everything, and comparing different washing machine, different types of. And after that, I asked him, Xiheng, didn't you say mantra after everybody eating? Why do you need this washing machine to kill germs? So he told me, he said, Hendrik, you know, there are hundreds of people here at the ceremony. Okay. And this thing have to be really safe, or else people from Asia, from different parts of the world, they might spread problem, you know, germs or anything unintentionally. So again, I asked him, well, don't everybody say the mantra? And he replied me, he said, the Buddha never stopped you from getting more effective in your daily life. You still do your mantra, but after you do your mantra, you wash the dishes go to that washing machine, which is killing germs, so that it doesn't spread, that everybody got it, or some people will got it with weaker odor. So the same thing I want to share with the world. Hey, this is 2020. Stop arguing with me on this. When I say science, you say go to the lab and everything. Let me share with you this. Let's read this. What does it say? Your fitness level, Vo2max, is a measurement of the health of your cardiorespiratory system. It indicates your ability to supply and transport oxygen around your body during training. An improvement in your Vo2max indicates that your training has been effective. A high Vo2max will improve your sport performance and your overall health. So the other day, I brought it up. Vo2max. Okay. So what does it say? Your Vo2max is the top 5% of your age and gender. Okay, this is a recently stuff. Okay, stay there. Now, how can you know that what you're training on your Shulim Tao is effective and you actually really have a good fitness? Right away in your cardiorespiratory. Okay. Ability to supply, transport oxygen around body during training, and improve in your Vo2max indicate that your training has been effective. A high Vo2max will improve your sport performance and your overall health. How can you know that your training is effective? Well, go Vo2max. You train your Shulim Tao as what the other day I shared, US3. You train it and you see your Vo2max get up or not, improve or not. Of course, Vo2max can hit a limitation because we're aging and so forth, but does it have any effect at all? And as for high Vo2max, You check the Vo2max. Today's science can tell you your body is ready for a greatly improved workout. This is the training effect, 4.5 for 4.9 training effect workout. And in the meantime, the body is 77% recovery. There are 17 hours remain to full recovery. So you want to go to the sparring, fighting, endurance here? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? Or do we know where we are? So is the training based on, oh, this is my lineage. Oh, this is this grandmaster. This is secret techniques. Sorry. In the world, this is the norm today. Do you have a body to do the job? To develop, say, your dynamic strength, your absolute strength? Do you have it? Is your training effective? If you don't have the 70%, like yesterday I said on this Pakda example, you don't have this 70%, and you learn some hand techniques and then punching some heavy bags at school or at home, or doing some practice, you must be kidding. Okay. This is year 2022. It's like in that movie, Toto. This is not Kansas City anymore. Okay. So it is a big concern now. You talk fighting, you want to talk under pressure. How is your body going to support that? How is your training efficiency effective? Not to mention today, many of us have problem in our health. A lot of diabetic issue, a lot of heart issue, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You must be kidding if you ignore all those basic like the Vo2max. Okay. So Vo2max is a must. Everybody need to check their Vo2max. Because the bottom line is it is your cardiorespiratory system. You stress that thing, and if you don't know, you're going to cause yourself a problem. When you have a low Vo2max, you're going to force yourself into this thing, and playing macho in the fighting or anything is going to cost you big time. Okay. So Vo2max, what is your Vo2max? What is your student Vo2max? If the student's Vo2max is not in a good level, then you say no sparring. Sorry. You don't even want them to do heavy back striking or anaerobic training. Okay. Because once you do that, you're going to jump them into the aerobic deficiency syndrome. They never have enough aerobic-based training, and you jump them into that. So know what is going on. Now, on the other hand, if you don't know how to, for this recovery, you don't have this recovery, then you have to really concern that you overtraining and damage your body. Like the example here. If this heart rate variability is dropping already, it is the time to not training. It is a recovery time. You keep this heart rate variability low, the HRV heart rate variability low, and you still go pressure it and then like gung-ho about it, is going to damage your body, that's for sure. Modern sports science, no, you don't have the recovery time. You overtrain. So the bottom line, as what I always very carefully request, I said the term request, or set it a standard to whoever close to me. You better check your Vo2max and your heart rate variability and so forth. And in the heart rate variability case, when you overtrain, you guess what? Your heart rate is going to go high, and whatever you do is going to go high because you actually just overtraining, and then you cause all kinds of issues. You need to have rest. That's why there are always friends who run into that problem and say, hey man, you work too hard now, okay? Just go do N1, the N1 process. That's what I mentioned in my book, Wing Chun Inceptions. And then after 2-3 days, say, oh yeah, I come back, Hendrik. The heart rate be able to go down instead of just stay high. So can that be measured? Sure, like this one, right? Like this one, right? Like in my book, Wing Chun Inception, I already show you. This is in the morning, 8:44. This is 9:05. And after you train, they say that like the N1 and so forth, see this SDD from 49.9, it raised to 49.41. So all those things you can check, and then if this is too low and everything, you don't want to touch it. In fact, you can see all those trainer in the MMA and so forth, people using heart rate variability. They check in the morning the heart rate variability. If that day is low, they are not going to go train because it is not. You need rest. You need rest. Otherwise, your body is going to go get damaged. Now, so 160 years ago, the ancestor of the Wing Chun know. And this is how we show it today, scientifically proven. Okay? So that's why like the 2C state, here for your cardiorespiratory, that's why there's a 2C state here. We know what it is. We know what is effective or not effective. And that's why, like the other day, I shared this, like the EG Kamyong-ma. You look at that is the breathing amplitude. Okay, deep lower abs breathing amplitude. The minute you change to your clamping knee EG Kamyong-ma, it reduced to 1/3. So that's how effective it is. So this is not about, well, Hendrik wants to be pushing his lineage. Oh, you know, Hendrik talks so much. Somebody say, well, you talk an hour so much. You know what is Hendrik's bottom line? How many people are you going to screw if you don't know this basic? Selling snake oil with your Xiulim Tao sets. So that's why people who are around me, I tell them, check the VO2 max. Make sure you have the handling of the HRV, or be able to drop your heart rate with the 2C, with the N1, like I share in the Wing Chun Inception. Without this, what are we doing? Are you sure that you can go this far? Are you sure that you can train this far? If you don't have your VO2 max, you do not know how to handle your heart rate variability for recover. And then I ask the question for everybody. Okay, your Wing Chun is the best Wing Chun, the oldest Wing Chun from this king of Wing Chun. Does it have any body condition on this? If not, you know what? I often tell people, stop practice that art. This better go train the modern MMA with the modern sports science. Didn't the modern the young Chinese doing that now? Drop the kung fu because it's unreliable. It is magical. That's why Xi Xiaodong call it fake. So the issue is that it is not fake. The ancient Chinese, ancient Wing Chun is not fake. It have all those components today we can verify with science. And if we don't do that, and if you have a diabetic, you have a heart problem, you have a high cholesterol problem, you have a high blood pressure, can you go jump into that or just talk big on this thing? I know some hand techniques and you talk big. Do you know what you are dealing with? Now, this is not about who is the best fighter. This is about human is just very fragile. If you get stroke in that high intensity activity which you never trained for, that is real. See people die in the ring, okay? If they do not condition properly. It is a tragedy. So the bottom line I like to share with you guys is, now you know all these things. Take care of your body, okay? Check your VO2 max. You can get Apple Watch. You can get Polar, Garmin. Or if you want a budget one, just go get a Jabra earphone. With your iPhone, you can check your VO2 max. Okay, this one also you can do it. This is $70, $80 kind of stuff, but it's going to help you to check yourself, say, hey, am I walking in a gray area? Or can I do this? Should I train this hard today? Or like this. Am I ready for the workout? How much time do I have to rest before my recovery? Now this is 77%. What is I got down into the 5% already? Am I going to start still pushing it? Or I'm suicide doing that? So this is what I like to share with you, right? Always remember 3 things: recovery, aerobic base, endurance training. If you are not sure about your aerobic base training, don't go for the endurance training. If you are not sure about your aerobic base training, check it with your Vo2max. And for the recovery, you're not sure, you don't know what to do, check your HRV. If the HRV do not come back, it stay low and not get high, don't practice those high intensity stuff. Just do solo and relax. Okay. Not all of us can practice those sparring and fighting stuff. Different people have different body conditions and different time. So we need to have that. So the bottom line is this. The reality is 70% here, 30% here on your techniques and whatever. And within that 70%, your health is 80% here. If you screw your health out, you will never get here and you're going to end up a high medical cost. Okay? What is the point? And also, if you do not know if your Shulin-Tao works or not, measure with your Vo2max and your heart rate variability. If you practice that doesn't work, that cannot control, forget, don't tell it this is the oldest, this is the ancient, this is the whatever Shulin-Tao or whatever internal art or whatever Qi. So that's why I tell everybody, anybody who tell me that he have a Qi Gong, I said, measure your Vo2max for me. Measure his HRV handling. If you have Qi Gong, you'll be able to drop the HRV. Like if you are proficient with the N1 process in my book, Wing Chun Inception, you'll be able to raise your HRV because you know how to recover yourself. If you have the 2C state, you'll be able to improve your Vo2max because you are not going to stand in that clamping stance. You are not going to stand in the pigeon stand or the triangle stand. You're going to create this type of breathing, high amplitude breathing. Why is important? Well, scientific, right? Vo2max is to indicate your ability to supply and transport oxygen around your body during training. So it is this straightforward, this scientific. Without this base, it is just movie fantasy. Sure, you can go beat at your student. You know, your student never hit back anyway. Bruce Lee said, bot never hit back. I say student never hit back. Right? You want to go really into the tournament? So this is to share with you. The bottom line, remember this, check your Vo2max. Check your heart rate variability, okay? And if your heart rate keeping going high and cannot come down to the rest, tell your Sifu, your instructor, you got a problem. You don't want to continue train that way. Because you know that when your heart rate is keeping going high, cannot come down to the rest, stay at the really high heart rate and not in the resting heart rate and below, then you know that there's a problem in your cardio. And you check VO2, the HRV, heart rate variability, you can see those things. And what I share with you in terms of VO2max and heart rate variability, today, the modern sportmen know this all. Okay? So let's not living in the cave and be living in like the boxer librarian. Yeah, my body, I have this mantra called Xu Lim Tao. Mind power, I can take bullets. Sure, you talk about your mind power. Tell me what is your Vo2max? How good is your handling of the heart rate variability? Serious. Why should I accept anything? This is a scientific world. It's like, again, in that monastery, and people want to buy that dishwashing machine which kill germs. That has to be scientifically proven. So this is to share with you. Think clearly, think deeply, and first, get a good health. Health is important because you need to live there. Fighting is something we might never fight the entire world. Health is number one important. Wing Chun, you can treat it like an art to learn techniques and everything. But that level of fighting and sparring and testing whatever, that is not for everybody. And you don't want to be gung-ho on that. The Chinese say, 一山还有一山高. One mountain have another mountain which is higher. Okay? But what is really doing good for us is like this. I just share you the heart rate variability measuring earbuds. It's real low cost and very good quality. Everybody can afford it. Even if you don't, this kind of thing is much more expensive and so forth. Under $100, you can have a really reliable thing. Or you can get one in your school. You get your student to check their heart rate variability when they are in your school. So everybody know. And you know how to assign them who should do what, and then see whether they improve or not after, say, training for 2 months or 3 months. So no, I'm not here to put down Wing Chun or your lineage or anything. I'm here to say that you have future only if you do it scientifically, be able to verify, and you train effectively. I love to see everybody be able to train effectively instead of being called, hey, Wing Chun is nonsense. It's just fake Chinese Kung Fu. It's just movie. And also, why should all these Wing Chuners suffer? When we today have all these gadgets to know that whether our training is effective or not effective. If it's not effective, you drive down, it's going to cause your body problem, your health problem. So let's avoid those kind of things, get everybody to be better. That's the notions.